Melbourne Center, this strange aircraft is hovering on top of me again. It's not an aircraft. These were the last chilling words of 20-year-old pilot Frederick Valentich before he vanished without a trace over the Bass Strait in Australia on the evening of October 21st, 1978. What happened that night remains one of the most puzzling and controversial aviation mysteries in history, one where UFO theories are not only possible, but disturbingly plausible. Stick with me until the end, because this case doesn't just involve a missing plane. It involves radar anomalies, multiple eyewitness UFO reports, and an audio recording that will make your skin crawl. And the most unnerving part? No one has ever found the wreckage. No body, no debris, nothing. It was supposed to be a routine flight. Frederick Valentich took off from Moorabbin Airport near Melbourne in a small, single-engine Cessna 182L. His flight plan was simple: a 235-kilometer journey across the water to King Island. A trip that should have taken just over an hour. Valentich was young but serious. He had dreams of joining the Royal Australian Air Force, and although he'd been rejected twice, he continued to pursue aviation with obsessive passion. But from the very beginning, something about the flight was off. He told air traffic controllers he was going to pick up some friends from King Island, but nobody on the island was expecting him. No passengers, no arrangements, nothing. So why was he flying there? Was it really just a solo flight? Or was there something else going on? At exactly 7:06 p.m., Valentich radioed Melbourne Flight Service to report something strange. Is there any known traffic below 5,000? The response? Negative. There were no aircraft in the area. Then Valentich described a large aircraft with 4 bright lights, flying about 1,000 feet above him. But as he tried to make sense of what he was seeing, the situation escalated quickly. He reported the object approaching him at high speed, then hovering, then orbiting him, and finally, perhaps most chilling of all, it is not an aircraft. For the next 6 minutes, he spoke to Melbourne Center while trying to describe the object. He said it was shiny, metallic, and had a green light. He claimed its movements were erratic, not like anything he'd ever seen. It vanished, then reappeared, and finally it seemed to be following him. Then, radio silence, except for one final, terrifying transmission. 17 seconds of open mic with metallic scraping noises in the background. And then, nothing. Valentich and his plane disappeared completely and permanently. At first, authorities assumed a crash, but the search and rescue team's planes, ships, helicopters found absolutely no sign of wreckage. No oil slick, no fuselage, nothing washed ashore. Over 77 hours of air and sea search produced zero evidence. It was as if the plane had been plucked out of the sky. So what could have caused such a complete disappearance? The skeptics jumped in fast. Some said it was pilot error. Valentich wasn't the most experienced flyer, they pointed out. He'd had several failed exams and had been involved in a few minor incidents before. Maybe he got disoriented. Maybe he was flying upside down and mistook his own reflection on the water for a UFO. Others claimed it was a suicide, suggesting the flight to King Island was a ruse. But Valentich was passionate about flying. He'd even bought a brand new flight bag the week before. Friends said he was excited, optimistic, and planning his aviation future. So if it wasn't a mistake or a suicide, what was it? Here's where things get strange. On the night of Valentich's disappearance, more than 20 people from the southern coast of Australia reported seeing unidentified lights and strange aircraft in the sky. One man, driving along the Cape Otway coast exactly where Valentich's plane vanished, claimed he saw a green light hovering over the water and a small aircraft flying near it. Another witness said he saw a fast-moving object with a dome on top flying erratically before shooting off at impossible speed. And if you think these reports were just hysteria after the fact, think again. Many of the sightings were reported before the news of Valentich's disappearance was made public. Still think it was just a crash? Let's go back to those final transmissions for a second. Experts who analyzed the metallic scraping sounds at the end of the recording said they didn't match anything mechanical from the Cessna. The noises were inorganic, unlike anything typically associated with aircraft distress. Even the Australian Department of Transport couldn't fully explain the event. Their final report left the cause as unknown. But perhaps the most shocking detail came years later. In 2014, an amateur researcher discovered a photograph taken on the very night of Valentich's flight by a man named Roy Manifold. The photo, shot at Cape Otway, shows a fast-moving object with a trail of black smoke exactly in the direction where Valentich vanished. And this wasn't just a blurry mess. Multiple experts examined the photo and confirmed this was not a camera error. What did Roy capture? Was it the object Valentich described? Even now, nearly 50 years later, the Valentich disappearance haunts investigators, pilots, and UFO researchers alike. No debris, no definitive answers. Just a terrified young pilot describing something impossible and then vanishing without a trace. Was it a tragic accident, a cover-up, or a close encounter that ended in abduction? We may never know the truth, but one thing's for sure, Valentich saw something out there, and it saw him too.
If you felt the chill down your spine, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Eyes Beyond Earth for real unexplained encounters, UFO sightings, and secrets they don't want you to know. New videos every week. Like the video if you believe there's more out there. Turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. And let us know in the comments, what do you believe really happened? Until then, keep your eyes open, keep your mind sharp, and always keep looking up.